Okay. It's the time. We're going to start. We're holding Masechah Sanhedrin. We're in the ninth parak, right? In the Bavli, Masechah Sanhedrin parak Elu Hanisrafin, right? Hanisrafin. These are the ones who are getting burned. So we saw those 10 cases. We've moved on to beheading, the punishment of beheading. And one of those punishments we saw already last week was the person who is a murderer. Person who is a murderer. You might have thought to kill him the way he killed somebody, but no, we kill him with beheading. And last week we went through the issue of it has to be direct. It had to have been the one, he had to have been the one to have killed him and not just merely cause him to be killed. Escape routes we talked about. We talked about ricocheting off a wall. Was it his primary force? Wasn't his primary force? And now we continue on Daf Ayin Het Amud Aleph, second line on the page. So we are in the English on 78A1 in the art scroll of the Tanu Rabban on the left column, the new paragraph over there. So the case is Tanu Rabban, the rabbis taught in the Braita. Hikuhu asara b'nei adam ba'asara makot v'amet. 10 people hit this one guy with 10 sticks. And he died. They all beat him up, and he died. So when I says, the Braita says, whether they all hit him at the same time and he died, or whether they killed him one, or they hit him one after the other, they're all patur. Okay, there is a pasuk that says, "Ve'ish kiyakeh." When a man hits. When a man strikes and kills, and it says b'lashon yahid, a man. So if we learn from here that if a man causes someone to be killed, an individual, so then he is hayav mitah. But if it is a group of people who cause someone to be killed, they're peturin, meaning that they can't be punished on earth, right? The Beit Din down here can't execute them, but B'dei Shamayim, Hashem will take care of the business, and this guy will get punished. But Peturin from Bnei Adam, we cannot punish it because it's Ishkiyakeh, man, and not a group of people. However, there is a mahloket in the case of Bezeh Ahrazeh, when they come one after the other. Rabbi Yehuda b'mitera omer, Bezeh Ahrazeh Haharun Hayav. No, he says, in the case of one after the other, right? The Chachamim in Tanakama, they say it's patur because everybody killed him. Rabbi says no, it goes with the last guy. Until the last guy, this guy was still alive. So now the last guy hit him and he died. So he's the one hayamita. Because he made him die faster. The Yehuda says that the guy who hits him last, he is hayav mita because he caused him to die faster. Now, what's the mahloket? Now, we know that if you participate in a murder, multiple people participate in a murder, you can't kill any of them because they all caused it and not one. So, isn't this case how do you view it? Do you view it as they all killed him, or what? And if so, they should be patur. And if they didn't, what is Rabbi Yehuda thinking? What's his svara? So Amar Yohanan. Yohanan says, Ushnehem mikra ehad dershu. They're all explaining a pasuk. What's the pasuk? For ish kiyakeh, a man who kills, right? A man who killed, individual. But then it says, what does he do? Kol nefesh adam. Kol nefesh adam. Okay, kol. We're going to see that there's two possibilities of how to translate kol. Kol nefesh adam, then for the simple understanding, the entire soul of the person, all the human life. So Rabban Savrei, so the rabbis say, what is the pasuk saying? A man who kills, kol nefesh adam, the entire person. That's hayav mita, right? So I explained it on Shabbat using a mashal of the like the video game Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. If you remember, you used to play the arcades, and on the top there would be a life force, right? How much 100%, and then as you get hit, it would go lower, lower, and lower, lower. So the Chachamim say the Rabbanan Savrei, Kol Nefesh, Adika kol nefesh. In order to be hayab mita, you have to have taken this guy from 100% health and bring him to 0. Okay, and you killed him. Then you're hayab mita. If you didn't do that from 100 to 0, but you took him from 50 to 0, or from 20 to 0, 10 from 0, you didn't kill kol nefesh. You didn't kill the entire person. You only killed a part of a person. The pasuk says kol nefesh, the entire person. Rabbi Yehuda ben Mitira says, no, it's kol nefesh. Kol nefesh doesn't mean the entire being. It means kol dehu nefesh. As long as there's some nefesh there. Sometimes the word kol can mean everything, and sometimes can mean a part of a thing, some part of it, something. Okay? Here's an example. I'm going to read you psukim from the Torah, that each one, it could be a different kol. Here it says, kol hadavar. Shem says to Moshe, listen to the entire thing. Kol tzipor Torah tochelu. All of the kosher birds eat. Right? Kol means everything in these psukim. But then there are other pasuks. It says, Lo tochel kol te'eva. Don't eat any forbidden thing. Doesn't mean don't eat all forbidden things. Like you only hayav and isur if you eat all the forbidden foods in the world. No. Kol there means any. Right? So there's some calls that mean all, and some calls that mean any. And so that is the machloket, Chachamim, and Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yochanan says, in this word, kol nefesh adam. Do you understand kol being the entire person has to be killed by this individual in order to hayav mita? Or does kol mean a part of his soul that if you cause that to die, then you be hayav mita? Let's just take a look at the Rambam before we move on. Right? So the Rambam in Sefer Nezikin, Hilchot Rotzeach, he writes as follows. If 10 people beat another with sticks and he died, whether they struck him successfully one after the other, or simultaneously, they are all exempt for execution by the courts. So the Rambam is like this, the Halcha is like the Chachamim. One is liable to be executed as a murderer only if he alone caused the individual's death, in accordance with the first opinion in this Braita, with the opinion of the Tanakama, that what? Or or one shot. If 10 people committed the murder, all of them are piturin. Obviously, heaven will take care of them, the Rambam says, but they are patur. Okay, so halacha is like the Chachamim. But now the Gemara is going to get into this mahloket of the Chachamim, the Rabbanan, and the Rabbi Yehuda. How do we view how do they view things? Amar Rava, Hakol modim behoreg et terefa shehu patur. All right, 1 second. So what's a terefa? It says anyone who kills a terefa, you don't kill the guy who killed the terefa. Terefa is somebody who has certain physical, visible defects that means that he won't last the year. He won't live out the year. He's gonna die. So right now we say Hakomodim, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbanan, everyone holds that if Reuven kills Shimon and Shimon is a terefa, Reuven does not get hayam mitah. He doesn't get the execution. Okay? Because what is it? What would be the reason? He killed a dead man. The guy's already dead. The guy's not going to last the year. He's already considered dead. Therefore, he's patur. You don't get mitah for killing a dead person. Okay. Now, begoses b'dei shamayim shehu hayab. What about if you have a person on his deathbed and you kill him? He's dying, but you kill him. Now, b'dei shamayim means that it wasn't in this disease or this state that he's in, this deathbed, that state that he's in, wasn't caused by man. He got sick from Shemayim. He caught some disease or something like that, and it happened, so to speak, from Shemayim. So now a person comes and kills him. B'nei Shemayim, If this guy got sick from B'dei Shamayim and another individual comes and kills him, Hayav. He is Hayav. Why? What would be the reason? What would be the reason? So, so they want to explain. So some want to explain that B'dei Shamayim is a possibility that the victim would recover. You know, sometimes people get sick very badly, like during COVID, and some people died, and some people got better. So just because he's sick with a very bad virus or whatever it is, doesn't mean necessarily he's going to die. And therefore, if you kill him, hayam mita. However, the Yad Ramah says a beautiful shot. The Yad Ramah says, B'dei Shamayim. You know what happens with B'dei Shamayim? Remember that life bar we had on top, 100%? So the B'dei Shamayim, heaven goes and reduces that life bar. But what does it mean? That means that it's this individual's full life bar at this time. Same way Hashem gave him 100% when he started his life. Then at this point, he has only 50%. The fact that he's 50% of this time is B'dei Shamayim. So it's really the new 100 for this individual. Therefore, if you kill him now, right, you're going to be Hayav because it's his Kol Nefesh at this time, right? According to the Chachamim, you have to be Kol Nefesh. How's it Kol Nefesh here? The guy is sick. Oh, it's his Kol Nefesh at this moment. Right now, that's his Kol Nefesh because it came from B'dei Shamayim and not B'dei Adam. Okay? That's the Yad Ramah. Where is their machloket? Their machloket is a guy who's a goses. He's on his deathbed, but he's there because of another person. Another person caused him to get sick. Another person injured him, fought him, whatever it was. So now this guy was beaten up by somebody else, right? And his life force is at 20%. And now comes another individual and kills him. So what do you compare this to? What is this compared this to? One opinion. The rabbis say it's like a terefa. And if you kill a terefa, right? You kill a terefa, you're patur. So too, if you kill a guy who's killed by somebody who's brought down to 20% by somebody else, so you're not going to be hayav, you're going to be patur. It's like you compare it to a terefa. He's a walking dead man. You want to compare it to that. Umar medamile the goses b'dei shamayim. But the other one says, and this is Rabbi Yehuda, he says it's like goses b'dei shamayim, meaning that he's at 20%, but you're taking his life, so you can be hayav mita. Right? We're going to look at that coal and that little life that's left and compare it to goses b'dei shamayim. Now, and why don't they want to compare it the other way? Why is it more that way? Man demadele trefa. The one who compared to terefa, my time goes to the Shemaim. Why doesn't he compare to go to the Shemaim? So he says, goes to the Shemaim, go to the He said, you know why I can't compare it to a goes to the Shemaim, to a person who's deathbed because of heaven? Because there, by goes to the Shemaim, no one caused it to happen. But by terefa, something caused it to happen. And here, Goses, B'nei Adam, something caused it to happen. Terefa, they got torn. Something happened. Goses B'nei Adam. He got injured. It's something that happened through a ma'aseh. And the one who compares to the Shemayim, I told him the terefa. Why doesn't he compare it to a terefa? So he says, terefa machteche simanim. Terefa has vital organs that have been cut out, meaning that it's noticeable. It's huge. It's a big thing. Halo mechatche simanim. Where this person who's dying due to an act of man does not have vital organs that have been cut. He doesn't have the injuries of a terefa. Therefore, we're going to compare it to Goses B'dei Shamayim, and he has what would be considered at this moment his full life, according to Rabbi Yehuda. Okay, so the part of the life, kol means any, according to Rabbi Yehuda. Fine. So let's take a look at the Rambam on these cases. Rambam writes, in the case of one who kills a person who is a terefa, even if the victim was completely functional, he was walking, eating, and drinking before his murder, the one who killed him is not liable to be executed by the courts. Okay, so the Rambam says, Pashut, right? If a person is a terifah, you kill the terifah, you are patur b'dei adam. The Beit Din cannot do anything to you. Because says b'dei shemayim b'dei adam, what does the Rambam say? One who kills a dying person is liable to be executed by beheading. Okay? If the guy is dying, he's on his deathbed, you kill him, you're hayav mitah. But if he was dying due to a blow or a wound administered by another person, he got hit, a blow or a wound, his killer is not liable to be executed by the court in accordance with the opinions of the rabbis and of Rava. So we are like the Rabbanan, and we say that Goses B'dei Adam is Goses B'dei Adam. He is not going to be liable. It's like a terifah, and it's only Goses B'dei Shamayim that if you kill, you would be hayav mitah. But terifah and Goses B'dei Adam, person would not be hayav mitah in those cases, according to the halakha the Rambam brought down. Okay. Let's see the next case over here. Tana kame de Rav Sheshit. We have a Braita like Rav Sheshit. The Braita says, "V'ish ki yakek kol nefesh adam." And if a man strikes kol nefesh adam, the entire nefesh of an adam, lahavi hamakeh et havero. What does it come to include the word all? Lahavi hamakeh et havero. Ve'en bo kedei lahamit. Ovo achir v'hamito shuhu hayav. It's coming to conclude the case if Reuven hits Shimon but doesn't hit him enough to kill him, right? And he's okay. And now Levi comes and hits Shimon and kills him, that person is going to be hayav. Mara says, what? If the first hit was not enough to kill him, shita, then it's obvious, of course, the guy was healthy, and then you killed him, right? The guy slapped him in the face, right? Let's say Reuven slaps him, and then he says, and then Levi comes and kills him. Oh, I shouldn't be hayav mitah because he slapped him. What do you mean? The slap the guy was 100% okay. And you killed him, so that cannot be the case that call coming to include. Ela yesh bo kedei lahamit. Rather, the pasuk is coming to include this: that yesh bo kedei lahamit. Reuven hits him, and he hits him badly, and he's dying. Another comes, and Levi comes and hits him more and kills him. Shehu hayav. That Levi is going to be hayav. Who's that opinion? This is the opinion of Yehuda ben Betera, who says kol means any part of the life force, and therefore would be hayam mitah for any part of the life force. But we don't paskin like that. Halacha would be like the Banan and the Rava that in this case he would be patur from our bedding. We would not be able to kill him. Okay. Now let's take a look at this. Amar Rava. Harog and a terifah patur. Okay, this we already saw. If you kill a terifah, you're patur because he's a walking dead man. So you can't be hayamita for killing a dead person. Utrefah sheharag. What about the other case? The terifah, the guy who's going to die within the year, he kills somebody. Okay, a terifah kills someone. Terifah sheharag. So Rava says, bifnei betin hayav. Shelo b'fnei beitin patur. Depends where he kills. If he kills in front of the bedin, then the bedin can kill him. And if he kills outside the bedin, we can't touch him. Umar wants to know why. Mifnei bedin my time hayav. Why is he hayav if he kills in front of the bedin? Because it says, "Uvi'arta hara mikirbecha." Remove the evil from your midst. Meaning what the Mefarshim explain, Tosfot and others, they explain that we're not killing him based on edut. We're going to see in a moment. So let's read the next part, and then we'll come back to this. Okay. So because so if Beit Din see it, they can kill him because remove the evil from your midst. And if he's not in front of the Beit Din, he's patur. Why? Okay, a very important concept over here, the concept of hazoma. So let's explain. A little background. Many of us are very familiar with this. but let's just talk about hazama. What is hazama? In order for testimony to be valid, in order for witnesses' testimony to be valid in Beit Din, it has to be subject to hazama. Hazama is refuting their testimony, but not via arguing them black is white and white is black, but rather that that guy couldn't have seen what he saw because he wasn't there on that day, because he was with us wherever else. He was with us in Texas. He was with us at Disneyland, an American Dream World, whatever you want to say. Okay? So every edut has to be subject to hazama, that it's able to say that you guys weren't there. You guys are saying what you saw. You weren't there because you were with us that day in question when this happened. Now, what happens to the edim who are found to be edim zomimim, false witnesses? We do to them asher zamam, like they wanted to do, so like they wanted to do to the other person. Okay, so if Reuben and Shimon gave testimony about Levi that would have led to Levi's death, okay, but then Yehuda and Yisachar come and say, Reuben and Shimon, you couldn't see what you saw because you were with us that day somewhere else, right? Then we do to Reuven and Shimon what they wanted to do to Levi. We kill Reuven and Shimon. This is a case of Edim Zomimim Hazoma. So, in this case, the reason that you can't kill a terefa if you kill someone is because the Havila Edut Shi'ata Yachol Lahazima. What happened? Reuben and Shimon are giving testimony about Levi that he killed somebody, but Levi is a terefa. So what did Reuben and Shimon want to do to Levi? They wanted to kill him, okay? But they can't kill him because he's already a dead man. So now, if Yehuda and Yisachar come and say Reuben and Shimon are lying because they're with us somewhere else that day, then we would do to Reuben and Shimon what they wanted to do to Levi, which is to kill them. But they can't kill Reuben and Shimon because Levi can't be killed because Levi's already dead. And therefore, Reuben and Shimon's testimony is not valid from the start because you couldn't do hazama to it. The whole reason why it has to be subject to hazama, by the way, is because that creates credibility. The fact that you're coming and saying what you saw, and there's a chance that you might get punished, if you're lying, that allows to believe that edut. Therefore, it's very important that it has to exist. And so therefore, since in this case, these two people who are saying what they're saying cannot get punished if they're lying because the guy they're talking about is already dead. He's a walking time bomb. He's considered halacha dead. So therefore, you can't kill them. You can't kill them. You can't have Edom Zom. You can't make Edom Zomim. And therefore, it's edut she'iata yachola hazima that you can't make hazama to. Lo shema edut is not considered testimony, and therefore you can't kill the individual. Okay, so therefore, if a terefa kills somebody outside of the Beit Din, and they want to come to Beit Din and they say this guy killed, we can't listen to them because they can't be turned into Edom Zomim. They can't be punished like the way they were trying to punish the guy because the guy's already dead, so you can't kill them. Therefore, he is patur. What about in the Beit Din? In the Beit Din, we said the Beit Din could kill him, and the reason is not because of edut. In fact, the Gemara Rosh Hashanah and elsewhere says that if someone kills in the Beit Din, usually you would then go to another Beit Din, and the people who saw it would give testimony. But here, our Gemara doesn't say that when it comes to terefah. So we're led to assume that the fact that we're killing him is not because of a judicial process. It's an extrajudicial, meaning really you have to bring witnesses and all that. But in this case, we're killing him not because of testimony, but rather because of a pasuk uvi'arta mikabecha. Remove the evil from your midst. Nothing to do with testimony. And that's what Tosfot says. You have to have seen it during the daytime. It has to be 23 judges who sees it. It has to be in a way that it's so clear that you must remove this evil away from the people. But it has nothing to do with edut, with testimony, His testimony would not work in this case because you can't do hazama to it because you can't kill the individual, so you can't kill the Eidim Zomimim either. Therefore, it's not considered Edut, and therefore you can't kill him outside. Okay? Next case, Amar Rava. Rava says, Harove et terefa hayab. Okay? If a person sodomized a terefa, all right? So he had illicit relations with a terefa, then he is hayab. We're gonna have to see why that is. If he's dead, we're gonna see in a moment. Okay, we're gonna get there. Terefa shirava, but what about the terefa? If this guy was gonna die within in 12 months, right? And he has the simanim of terefa shirava, mifnei beit din hayab. If he did it in front of beit din and everyone saw it in the daytime, then you can kill him because of atar mikrebecha. Shlo mifnei beit din patur. But if it's not in front of beit din, he's patur because you cannot make edut on him. You can't give testimony because he can't be made into to Eidim Zomimim, so he's patur. Mifnei beit din hayab dichtiv atar mikrebecha. Shlo mifnei beit din patur. The havala edut she'ata yochel azima. You can't make the Eidim Zomimim. So therefore, you can't kill him. So why do I need this case? It's the same thing as murdering. If I and outside the beit, then you can't do anything then. Same thing like the murder. Gemara says no, there is a difference. Because we said if you killed a terifa, you're potter, you don't get touched. But here we said harovet terifa, it's a chalev. We need it for that case that he gets hayat, that you have to kill someone who sodomizes a terifa. Mahu detaining. Because what you would have thought? We know that when it comes to arayot, when it comes to illicit relations, it's only when the person is alive and you have that illicit relation with them that you get mitah. Let's say this guy has a relative, let's say the mother-in-law. Okay, we were talking about mother-in-law last week, 2 weeks ago. So let's say the mother-in-law. So he's not allowed to be with his mother-in-law. His mother-in-law dies, and he has relations with her corpse. So the halacha is we don't kill him. It's of course it's an isser and it's crazy and whatever, but he doesn't get killed. So maybe we would have thought perhaps this individual who's a terefa, and we're saying that he's dead. So if he has illicit relations with this terefa, so then he had it with the dead person, and therefore with the dead person you're not hayav mitah. So maybe even though he's alive, but he's a terefa, so he's considered dead. Maybe also not hayav mitah. No, because there is pleasure involved, and he does receive physical gratification. Therefore, is executed. In the case of sodomy, with the terefa, there is hana. Right? And Rashi says, if you take a look in the Rashi, I think this is also in note 28. Here, take a look at the second line over there in note 28. This is from Rashi. Since it is not so pleasurable to sodomize a corpse, for corpse lack the warmth and moisture of a living person, one is not executed for sodomizing a corpse. So if you're having illicit relations with a corpse, even though there is a sense of the guy's doing it for some sort of gratification, but it's not the hana that he can get executed for because the corpse doesn't have warmth or moisture. Whereas a terefa, even though in some aspects of Allah is considered a dead man, right? If you kill him, you're not going to be chayav mitah. Yet for this case, he's alive enough that there's moisture and there's warmth and there's more hana, and therefore he would be chayav mitah for sodomizing the terefa. Okay. Before we move on, let's take a look at the Rambam in these cases. Okay. A terefa who kills another in the presence of the court is executed in order to eradicate the evil from society. He's not executed on the basis of testimony of witnesses, because they cannot be rendered conspiring witnesses. They cannot be Eidim Zayimim. In accordance to the opinion of Rava, So yeah, if he kills within the next Beit Din, kill him. If he's outside the Beit Din, then he can't do anything to him. What about sodomizing a terifam? Sodomizing a terifam. One who engages in intercourse with a terefa, who is a forbidden relative, okay, so any of the arayot, or who sodomizes a male terefa, or he has relations with a male, or who engages in bestiality with a terefa. Let's say he's doing bestiality with an animal, and the animal is a terefa. In all of these, he is liable because there is hana. He will be liable and he'll be hayav mita in those cases if the witnesses and everything in place. Okay, so that is the Rambam halacha l'maisa on these cases. Let's see a little further. Omar Rava, and Rava says, Edim shehidu betrefa vehuzmu ein hargin. If witnesses testified against a terefa, right, and then they were made in the zayumim, you cannot kill them because you already saw. Because they can't kill individual they're giving testimony on because he's already dead. So therefore, if they made in zayumim, you can't kill them. Therefore, we don't accept their edut. What about edet terefa shehuzmu? What about the case if the edim zomimim, the edim? So we were saying up until now, two witnesses give testimony about a terefa. What about now if the two witnesses are terefa and the guy they're giving testimony on is a healthy individual? So these two are considered edim zolimim, but they're terefas. And then they so Reuben and Shimon are terefas. They give testimony about Levi that would have got him killed. Then Yehuda and Yisachar come and say, you guys couldn't have seen anything because you were with us in Austin all day that day, so you couldn't have seen that. So now Reuben and Shimon, what do we do with them? They're terefot. Can we kill them because they try to get Levi killed? Or we say that since they are considered dead people, you can't kill them, and therefore they don't get killed. So what is this? So the Gemara says, according to Rava, we do kill them. So, and their testimony is acceptable then. If you can kill them, then you can accept their testimony. So Reuben and Shimon, who are terefas, can give testimony on Levi, who is healthy, and if they're made into Israel, you can kill them. Rashi says no. Afilu ede terefa shehizmu ein hargin. No, we can't. Because the witnesses discredited them through hazama cannot themselves be discredited through hazama. Oh, what does Rashi say? Rashi has another step here. Hold on. Rashi says, let's say the case is like this. So Reuben and Shimon give testimony about Levi. Levi did something that he deserves death. Yehuda and Yisachar come and say Reuben and Shimon couldn't have been there because they were with us all day, so they couldn't have seen it. So now you want to kill Reuben and Shimon. But before you get to killing Reuben and Shimon, Zevulun and Dan show up. Zevulun and Dan show up and say, no, Yehuda and Yisachar are lying because they were with us all day and they couldn't have seen Reuben and Shimon because Reuben and Shimon wasn't with us that day. So now Yehuda and Yisachar are made into Edom Zolman. Okay? There's a double. Another round. Now, we're going to have to do to Yehuda and Yisachar what they try to do to Reuben and Shimon, which was what Reuben and Shimon wanted to do to Levi, which was to kill him. So they wanted to kill Reuben and Shimon by making them Edom Zolmim. So now they're made Edom Zolmim, they should get killed. But once again, Reuben and Shimon are already dead because they're terefaz. So then you can't kill Yehuda and Yisachar because they would have killed a dead person. And you can't kill someone for killing a dead person. So they're already dead. So you can't take them Edom Zolmim. So therefore, we don't kill. We wouldn't accept a dead terefaz. Okay, let's take a look at the Rambam here. The Rambam, right? Witnesses who testify against one who's a terefa and then rendered conspiring witnesses are not executed. Okay, we already saw this. It's simple. Two people come and say about a terefa that he did something, and then they're fine to in his own. You can't kill them because they would have killed a dead person. This is same is true of witnesses who are terifah. Let's say you have witnesses who are terifah, and they're made into Eidim Zomim. They are not executed. And the ruling is in accordance of Rav Ashi, who is the opinion of the later authority. So, with the opinion of the later authority. So, Rav Ashi is the halacha is like Rav Ashi, that if Eidim who are terifah, or Eidim Zomim, you cannot kill them because you have the second set, you wouldn't be able to kill them, so their Eidim wouldn't be able to be killed. Okay, that was Rav Ashi on the Eidim Zomim. Okay. Amarava. Shor terefa sheharag. Let's say you have an ox that is a terefa, and the ox kills somebody. Okay? The ox killed. He's a terefa. The ox would die within the year. V'shor shel adam terefa sheharag patur. Okay, so shor terefa sheharag chayav. If the ox is a terefa, would die within 12 months, and he kills somebody, you have to kill him. Shor shel adam terefa sheharag patur. But if the shore the ox belonged to a person who's a terefa, and he kills, and the ox kills, then the ox is potter. My time. I'm a crack. It says the pasuk, Hashor yisakel v'gam ba'alav yumat. Pasuk says the ox kills, you kill the ox, and you kill the owner. Now we don't actually kill the owner. We saw this already more in past, but it does compare the owner to the ox. So therefore, we said if the owner is someone who can't be killed because he's a terefa, then you wouldn't be able to kill the ox. Karin ba hashar yisakel. If you can't kill the owner, then you can't kill the ox. If you could kill the owner, you can kill the ox. Rav Ashi Omar, no. I feel a short terefa nami sharak patur. No, even if a shore is a terefa and he kills, you can't kill the shore. My tama. Because the pasuk has shore and baal together in the same pasuk, so therefore, just like a baal, the owner, if he was a terifah, you wouldn't be able to kill his ox. Therefore, if a shore itself is a terifah, you wouldn't be able to kill the shore. So that's what Rav Ashi says. So the halacha is that the halacha is shor terifah sharag v'shor shaladam terifah sharag. An ox belonging to a terifah that killed a person, and an ox that is a terifah that killed a person, are not stoned by the court in accordance with the opinion of Rav Ashi. Okay, so Rambam says Lacha is like Rav Ashi, it's a later opinion, so you got to go with him. What happens? The Ravad asks, what happens in a case if the ox kills in front of Bedin? Okay, the ox is a terifah, or the ox owner is terifah, and he kills in front of the Bedin. The Ravad said same thing. That like by the person, if he kills in front of Beitin, you can get rid of him. The Ravad says the same thing with that ox. If he kills in front of Beitin, you can get rid of him, and under the extrajudicial process of okay. That really ends off this case of Terefah. Now we're going to go to our last piece for today, which is on the last piece of the Mishnah that we had last time. The Mishnah said, Shisabot akelet. If a person incited a dog or a snake to go after someone, kill someone, so you can't kill the person because the person was just like, he was like, he caused it to happen, but he didn't actually do it. But then there was another case in the Mishnah. The guy picked up a snake and he pushed the snake's teeth into his fellow. Okay? And the fellow died. So there was a machloket. The Rabbanan said that this fellow who did it, the man who did it, is patur. But the Rabbi Yehuda Bebei Terah said, no, he's chayav. So now we're going to come into what the machloket is about. Amar Rachav Yaakov, Kishtimtza Lomar. This is what you want to say. The Rabbi Yehuda, according to Yehuda, who says that if you take a snake and you pick up the snake and you puncture the other person with the snake while it's in your hand, you know why he's chayav? Because eres nahash ben shinav hu omed. The poison is already sitting in the snake's teeth. So therefore, when you punctured the person, the poison was already there, and you caused the poison to go in, and therefore you're chayav mitah because you did it. Lefikach makish b'sayif nahash patur. Therefore, the man is killed, beheaded, and the snake is potter because the snake didn't do anything. You don't kill the snake. But according to the Chachamim, how does it work? Truth is, there's no poison already in the teeth. It's not there. And it comes later from the snake after he bites. Now he releases the poison on his own volition if he wants. And therefore, therefore kill the snake because he killed the person. And the person who put the snake into the person is patur because he just caused it to happen. He didn't do it. And it really depends on how you view where the poison is. So the Steinzelt, Rav Steinzelt, Evan Israel Steinzelt, he did some scientific research on the snake's venom. And he writes over here, the snake's venom is discharged from venom glands and flows to its fangs. So it comes from a gland and it flows to its fangs. Certain venomous snakes have a groove in their fangs, while others have fangs that are completely hollow. Those snakes could be described as having venom within their fangs. So he's saying maybe some snakes have a hole in their tooth and there's venom in there already. Perhaps those is what Rabbi Yehuda is talking about, that the poison is already there. So the student Gemara revolves around the question, to what degree is the discharge of venom an act of the snake? All right, another question. The Chachamim say that the snake is choosing to send out the venom. He says, is the venom discharged in the snake's own volition, or is it a reflex? Right, and if it's a reflex, then maybe the snake didn't do it on his own choice. So it's the person who caused it, the person who did it, because the snake is automatic. So these questions exist. What does the Rambam hold? Rambam says a snake discharges its venom of its own volition. Right? Therefore, if one sets a snake against another, he's not allowed to be executed by the court, and instead the snake is executed because the snake is the one who did it. Okay, so that kind of sums up the case over here. We'll look at the next Mishnah just to look at it. So we did on Shabbat also, and then we'll go back to this Mishnah next week. The Mishnah, person strikes another with a stone or a fist. Okay, that's what the pasuk says. And they said that this person is going to die. Right? They bring him to the doctor. The guy got hurt. Bring him to the doctor. Bring him to the hospital. The heckle, and they tell, and the doctor says this guy's going to die. He's sitting on the deathbed, right? He killed mimashahaya. Then he starts to get better, and the doctors come and say, "Oh, looks like he's going to make a recovery." But afterwards, he died. So, did this man who hit him with the fist or the stone or whatever it was, did he cause his death? Because at some point he got better. So maybe he died from something else. Right? So the Tanna Kama says, Hayab. It's going to be Hayab. The fact that he died shows you it's from what happened. Nechemia says, no, he's potter. He got better. Then he died. I don't know why he died. He got better and then he died. It's not because of this guy. Because there are feet, there are legs to support. The Rambam says this goes on the Tanna Kama, who says you kill him because there's support. The fact that he died is probably because of your blows, and therefore you should be killed. And then Rashi says, or Guy Medaber goes to Rabbi Nechemia, who says the fact that he got better, that's the proof that it's not him who killed him. Halacha, if one strikes another, and doctors predict the person will die as a result of that blow, and he recovers somewhat, and then his condition deteriorates, and he dies, the person who struck him is executed in accordance with the Stam opinion in the Mishnah. That's what the Rambam says. So we're going to have to get into how do we learn it, how do we understand it, and everything like that, Bezat Hashem, next week. That's where we will end for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.